Matt Platkin, who's the policy director for Murphy, walked in, and what the number 5 question that we get is, what are the progressive issues in the state? So regardless, as everyone says here, come June, we're all going to get together and get a Democrat elected. So I put Matt on the spot to give us the state of the progressive policy and some issues. So Matt, you get 5 minutes, and then I'll throw you out. So thanks. Once again, this is unrehearsed, so.
Yeah, Carrie didn't mention that I was going to be following Brendan, Marcia, and Sean, so this is quite a tall task. I just want to say this is an amazing organization. The fact that you guys are all here is really a testament to what's going on up and down our state, and the work that Carrie and Marcia are doing and that all the organizations in this room are doing is having a unbelievably profound impact. The point Brendan just made cannot be underscored enough. We flipped 4 congressmen on the AHCA vote. No state had more. And to Brendan's point, we've put the 5th in a real target right now, and he's in a difficult spot, and we're going to continue to do that with your help. But I'm just going to speak very briefly about what the state looks like. It's not a state that I think any other state would envy right now, unfortunately. And it begins and ends the way we see it from an economy that, as I'll steal a line from my boss, says is flat and incredibly unfair. We've had arguably the weakest economic recovery in America. When you look at where our regional neighbors are, where states that look like us are, we believe we're leaving anywhere from $20 to $50 billion a year in economic activity on the table. Now, to put that into real terms, when you look historically, about 10 cents on every economic dollar that we earn makes its way back to Trenton in the form of state revenues. So that's between $2 and $5 billion a year that we could have to fund our schools, to pay our pensions, to expand health care, to increase tax credits for working families. And when Christie says it's better than we found it, I really don't know what he's talking about. I won't be too partisan in a place of worship. But the fact remains, we have a weak economy. And it's an economy that is continuing to place working families further and further out of reach of the middle class. Since Christie took office in 2010, the average family in New Jersey makes 2% less than they did at that time. And remember, 2010 was when the country was beginning to emerge from the economic recession. We were already at the bottom of the pit. And as the country recovered, we continued to go further and further into the hole. And unfortunately, it looks even worse for families of color. African American households and Latino households have been hit multiple times harder than that. 9% of homes in foreclosure in America are in our state. We were not the state hit hardest by the foreclosure crisis, but we are the state, unfortunately, that has responded slowest. There is $20 billion or so in Wall Street settlement money that was supposed to go to this effort to help states dig their way out of the hole. We've gotten cents on the dollar because we simply haven't shown up. You can look at it from any angle. College tuition costs are up 20%, tolls are up 88%, NJ Transit fares are up 36%. These are costs borne by working and middle class families up and down our state, and we see them. We hear from them, we're hearing from you all about them, and I want you to understand that it is not lost on us that this is the single most important issue, and the way to get our state back on track is to grow our economy and make it fairer. I would just submit in a somewhat self-interested plea, but the point about the 2017 race is significant, and whoever does win, we will be behind them fully, because at the end of the day, this is the most powerful governor in America, control the agenda of the state, and I'm not here to defend that, but it's a reality that we're going to be going into next year. Whoever has that power can do an extraordinary amount of good or an extraordinary amount of harm. And for the last 7 years, we've seen a state that has been held back by a governor who did not want to be a partner in making progressive change, who did not want to improve the lives of working families, who was willing to cut taxes for the wealthy at a time that we couldn't make our state payments, 11 straight credit downgrades costing us hundreds of millions of dollars a year in borrowing costs. These have significant impact, and we can fix that. I was in a room yesterday with a national audience of environmental advocates on Earth Day. We have our face pressed up against the glass a little bit here. We sometimes forget that we are the first one up. And when we left the room, we'd spent an hour talking about New Jersey and what we can do to get the green economy going and make New Jersey a leader again in climate energy. One tangential fact. We lost 1,000 jobs in the solar industry last year. No other state in America saw that, and we were once a leader. We were the leader in the solar economy. So one person pulled me aside as I was leaving that room yesterday and said, "You don't know how lucky you are to be in New Jersey." This was the most hopeful conversation I've had since Trump got elected. And Carrie and Marcia put together a great meeting. Many of you were there a few Sundays after the election, and it was a reflection moment to talk about where we go. And I'm now seeing the fruits of it in this room and in rooms like this across the state. And we have the chance to show the country that we can do better. There's no state in the country that needs it more, and I truly believe that with a governor in the state house, a Democratic legislature, we can do incredibly progressive things in our state. We can raise the minimum wage to $15, and Lilia, who has put earned sick leave on the map, we can get it statewide. We can take the hundreds of millions of dollars out of the Koch brothers that we're currently putting there as a state, that's a fact unfortunately, and put it into a bank that invests in Main Street. We can cut the hedge funds out of the pension system and get that back on a path to solvency. We can fund schools, lowering property taxes. These are all things that are realistic, and I'm telling you they are realistic, but we need a governor who will do it. We're happy to be listening. This is a great organization. Marcia and Carrie are heroes of mine with the time and effort that they put in day and day out, and you guys couldn't be in better hands in learning how to do this on your own. So thank you.